In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly why Amazon Arbitrage is a failing business model and why there is a much better opportunity staring right at you in the face. Amazon Arbitrage is made out to be this super simple, super easy business model that you can start as a side hustle, put a couple of hours per week into the business, and you can pretty much replace your full-time income. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that is simply not the case. And in fact, quite the opposite. If you're watching this video as an arbitrage seller already or somebody looking to start arbitrage, make sure you watch to the end of this video as there's going to be a ton of value for you and it's going to open your eyes to what the opportunities are out there. And by approaching the Amazon business model from a slightly different angle, I've been able to generate millions and millions of pounds in sales in my own Amazon business. In fact, in the last 12 months alone, I've generated over £2.5 million worth of sales. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you the truth about arbitrage, the pros, the cons, and why, in my opinion, it is such a failing business model. I'll also be sharing with you a little bit about my journey in terms of how I started Amazon from pretty much zero to building a successful Amazon business. If you're new to the channel and haven't seen my face before, my name's Jack Davey and I've been in the Amazon space now for about 5 years. And my mission for the channel is to share as much free value with you guys as possible. As when I first started, I feel like there was a complete lack of actual valuable information out there on the market. So my job is to actually share all of my learning, all of my insights and behind the scenes footage from my Amazon business with you guys. So for more Amazon FBA related content, please drop me a like, subscribe, and comment any video ideas that you would like me to do. So what is Amazon Arbitrage? So in short, there is two sections to arbitrage. There is online arbitrage and there is retail arbitrage, okay? So online arbitrage is where you'll go to the website of a retail store. So usually a supermarket for the likes of Argos, Boots, the major kind of retailers within the UK specifically, and you'll head over to their clearance section or their offer section and you will buy deals based on what they have on clearance or what they have on offer, and you will then resell the products on Amazon. Retail arbitrage is exactly the same concept. It's just where you physically have to go into the stores, search through the clearance sections, scan the barcodes, and find deals that you can sell on Amazon. Now, let me talk you through why I think it's a failing business model. Now, the first thing, which is pretty obvious, is that the products aren't actually replenishable. You know, every time you go to a clearance section, whether that's online or in a retail shop, there's going to be limited supply of these products. So yes, okay, you might be able to buy a product for £3 and sell it for £12 and make a £4 profit, right? But if you can only buy it once, or if you can only buy 5 of them or 10 of them, then your output and your earnings are specifically correlated to the amount of time, effort, and work that you put in. And it's just limited. You're constantly having to chase the next deal, find the next deal, and you're just constantly fighting an uphill battle. And in my opinion, this makes it not sustainable long term because it's constantly relying on you trying to source the next deal, find the next product, and you're relying on the big major supermarkets to actually clearance their items. Me personally, this is not something I would be comfortable actually replacing my income with and being able to quit my job. Now, one of the main stipulations that a lot of people don't talk about is actually it's got very low profit margins. And when you actually work out like how much time you're investing into it versus the ROI and the profit that you're getting, you're actually earning less than minimum wage. And majority, this is because of lead groups. So a lead group is where a company will be formed and they will basically provide leads to other Amazon sellers and they will say, go to Argos, buy this product, you can buy it for £20 and you can sell it for £50 and you can make £15 in profit, right? On face value, this seems like a great business model. However, for any of you who have used lead groups before, you will know firsthand how it does not work like this. So on face value, you may be able to buy it for 20 and sell it for 50. But these lead groups often have hundreds, if not thousands and thousands and thousands of different members who the same deals all get sent to. So all at the same time, you all head to your local Argos, you all buy the stock, and you all send it into Amazon at the same time. So this product may sell 300 times per month. So you think maybe if you buy 50 or 30 or 10, you will be safe, right? But because there is hundreds, if not thousands of people buying up the same deals as you, what happens is there is too much supply in the market, which drives the price down. And ultimately, it's a race to the bottom. You could see a lead posted out at £20 cost price, £50 sale price. By the time you actually send the product into Amazon and start selling it, the price could very easily be at £35, £30, £25. And by the time you know it, you're actually breaking even and a lot of the time losing money. And this is because of the sheer amount of people that are inside these lead groups. And also alongside of that, the reason why I don't like arbitrage is because the barrier to entry is so low. So it means that anybody, whether you're 16 and you've just come out of school, or whether you're 50 and you work a full-time job, You don't have to have any money, you don't have to have any experience. You can go into a clearance store and you can buy these products and sell them, okay? So the barrier to entry is non-existent, okay? That means you're gonna attract lots of volume of new sellers who just want to do a side hustle. And these are all the type of people you're going to be competing against, right? Which makes it super hard to compete because they don't know what they're doing. There's a massive influx of people actually in the market, and it's just going to drive your profit margins low. It's going to create a ton of admin, and what you actually come out with at the end is simply just pennies. And I can say this because I've seen it time and time and time again with people who have started Arbitrage and they've got to maybe 5, 10, 15K per month, but they actually realize at the bottom line, they're not actually making any money. So this leads me on to understanding what I would call opportunity vehicle. So for those of you who don't know, an opportunity vehicle is something that's going to take you from where you're at now to your desired destination. It's actually the vehicle that's going to do that, okay? So in this instance, you choose Arbitrage as your vehicle, okay? So say, for example, your goal is to make £1,000 per month in profit. You choose Arbitrage as the vehicle. You're going to have to put, for example, 30 hours per week into this business model, and it's going to get you X amount in return in the end, okay? Hopefully. But the concept of opportunity vehicle in this scenario is, could I put the same amount of time, effort, and money into a different business model that's actually in the same niche that could actually get me to £3,000 per month in the same time period? Or maybe even just get you to the £1,000 a month as opposed to the £500 a month from Arbitrage. And that leads me on to why I think there's a much better method selling on Amazon as opposed to just doing Arbitrage. In the long term, this business model takes a lot less time, you can make a lot more money, and it will provide you with a lot more freedom. And that is brand direct wholesale. So this is where you will build relationships directly with brands and manufacturers themselves. You will buy their products in bulk and you will sell the products for them on Amazon. So instead of relying on the supermarkets clearancing down their products for you to buy, and you may only be able to buy 5, 10, 15 pieces, when we're dealing with brand direct wholesale, we're typically dealing with a minimum of 100 pieces, okay? And they're typically replenishable products. So you might be buying 500, 1,000, 2,000 pieces of a product that you're able to sell each and every month consistently, okay? And the benefit of doing wholesale and brand direct wholesale is that you can go to the brand and you can do the work once in terms of you source the product, you open the account with the brand, you negotiate profitable pricing, and you can replenish that product every single month. So say, for example, the product makes £3 per unit and you sell 100 of them. That's £300 in monthly recurring profit that will enter your Amazon business. And so with Arbitrage, you put the hard work in up front to find the product and find the deal, and you get paid once when you sell the product. You might sell 5 pieces, 10 pieces, 20 pieces of the product, okay? If you're lucky, maybe 50 to 100 pieces. However, with wholesale, yes, you have to put a little bit more work up front. You have to contact the brand directly. You have to open the account with them and negotiate the pricing. But once you've done that hard work up front, it can pay you monthly for potentially years and years on end. I mean, me personally, with my Amazon brand direct business, we have got products and brands that we've been selling for the past 3 to 4 years consistently every single month, where we are just replenishing the products and they give us consistent monthly predictable profit, which makes it much more consistent. You can actually rely on the money that's coming in. If you learn how to source the right type of products, build relationships with the right type of brands in the right way, you can rely on that money coming in each and every month. Whereas with Arbitrage, you're constantly just trying to find the next deal, the next product, and you don't know where your money is coming from next month. And it's even worse if you're relying on lead groups, because a lot of these products are going to get tanked, which means that you think you may be able to make 20% profit, but when it actually comes to it, you might be breaking even or maybe making a 5 to 10% margin. And the reason why most people start Arbitrage is because it's such a low barrier to entry, and they think that to do wholesale and brand direct wholesale, you need to have tons of experience in the space, and that finding products and suppliers is super hard. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's simply not the case. And if you've got the right strategies and you know what you're doing, you can find products and suppliers super easily, and you're actually able to scale pretty fast. I've linked in the description of this video a link to one of my other YouTube videos, which talks you through the process of how to actually find these products, how to contact the brands, and how to actually negotiate and sell the products. So where do I think most people go wrong with Amazon these days? It's simply choosing the wrong vehicle. They spend potentially years of their life starting Arbitrage. They may be scaled to 5, 10, 20K per month, right? And they realize that on bottom line, they're actually making no money, and they're putting in hard work blood, sweat, tears to actually get this money. And what they realize is when they tally up the amount of dead stock that they've got, when they tally up that they've got to invest all of this cash flow, they're actually making no money, and they're simply just busy fools. And a lot of people end up doing this for a lot of months or potentially even years before they actually realize, what am I doing? Why don't I just transition into the easier business model and the one that's going to make me the most money, which is ultimately brand direct wholesale. And a lot of people get to the point where they understand after maybe 6 months, 12 months, 24 months that if they actually applied the same amount of work and the same amount of money and the same amount of time and attention that they did to arbitrage, and they put that into brand direct wholesale, they'd probably be at 50, 100, 200K per month right now, with much stronger profit margins and actually consistently predictable income. And I know this because I have a ton of case studies myself from the program that I run called the AMZ Blueprint. And this is where we help people start or scale their Amazon businesses within the brand direct wholesale niche. And I've had a ton of people in there scale from pretty much zero or doing arbitrage on a low level to 100K per month in sales in brand direct wholesale within 12 months or less. And I've also got a ton more people who are well on their way to doing so within the next couple of months. It's just that there is so much misinformation online of people trying to get you into their lead groups with thousands and thousands of members. Whereas with us, we're completely different. We actually do what we say we do. I am actively in the trenches day in, day out in my own Amazon business. We have a warehouse, we have a big team of staff, and we're doing multiple 6 figures each and every month with brand direct wholesale. So we actually practice what we preach. And I have grown this over the past 5 years. And I probably started a bit similar to you. I started from my bedroom in my parents' house. I was packing stock in my garage, and I did it as a side hustle alongside my job. I started with no experience just under 5 years ago, and I now have a warehouse, as I mentioned, with a team of staff, and we do multi-million pounds worth of sales in Amazon every single year. So it's definitely possible. You just need to choose the right vehicle. You've just got to think about it like this. If you could put 30 hours per week into a business model, or 20 hours, whatever your time allowance may be, you've got 2 choices. You could put it into, in this scenario, arbitrage or brand direct wholesale. I can tell you now firsthand, if you put those 20 hours into brand direct wholesale, you're going to get a way better return, and you're actually going to be able to replace your income and achieve your goals by choosing brand direct wholesale. Amazon arbitrage is only good for the first couple of weeks or month when you actually just want to learn the platform and see whether it's actually something that you want to pursue. But even then, I would recommend starting with wholesale. So that is the truth about Amazon arbitrage that nobody on the internet wants to tell you. And that is basically my opinion of why I would not start it if I was starting Amazon in 2025. If you found value from this video, please drop it a like, drop me a comment with any future video ideas. Hit the subscribe button on the channel for more Amazon related content, and I'll see you in the next video.